first signed to Murder Inc., I signed to Murder Inc. like a month out of jail. I came to Murder Inc. the first day out of jail. Like the first hour, I went directly to the office. Real talk. You know what I mean? And motherfucking Gotti was like, spit something. I spit something. He cut me a check right there. And I took that to my PO the next day, because niggas that come home know when you come home, you gotta go see your PO the next day. Took that, yeah, you got a job, you gotta look for a job. Now I got a job already, bond. You see that right there, make a copy of that check, throw that on file. What you need, some letters, this the office, boom. Everything was good. It was a beautiful thing. When we first started off, we was grinding. Like, it wasn't just success. It was like, you know, we had to put in work. We had to get it with the mixtapes, DJs. We definitely had to kill everything we touched as far as musically and verses wise. We had to make sure all your verses was hot. A lot of songs that people was on, it was more based on whoever got the best verse stays on the song. Whoever got the weakest verse, the weakest link, they get kicked off the song. So that's how a lot of those songs came about. So it was a grind from the beginning. It's still a grind, you know what I mean? Nothing was easy. It wasn't like, Ja had to grind, I had to grind, everybody had to grind. So it was a process, you know what I mean? And everybody go through their stages. Rough Riders went through their stages, even Rockefeller went through their stages, the Ink went through their stages. Some people was able to come back, and if you were able to come back, that's a blessing. If not, you know, keep your head up and you breathing and you got your health, and that's more important than anything else. That's what I believe. So however it go, but everybody got their little bumps that they hit, you know what I mean? And they go over. It's just if you persevere over is what counts at the end of the day, you know what I mean? It was crazy. We was in Miami, LA. We was in, for one of them, we was in Miami, I think Blood in My Eye. But 336, we was in LA for like 6 months, living in LA, just hitting the studio, hitting the clubs, hitting the studio. It was a big party. Making that album was like a giant party for like 6 months. Anybody that's watching this that live in LA know that we had parties like damn near every night at the Murder Mansion. You know what I mean? Every night at the Murder Mansion, niggas had a party. Even on days when we was trying to take it slow, it was a party. So we done did that, done walked out, I done did all that. Right now, it's really about the good music. That was then, know what I mean? Now we got the Black Pages, the album coming, know what I mean? Rule got, know what I mean, his jump off, Empire Records. Caddy got Uli Entertainment, know what I mean? I'm doing the movies, and that's what it's about now, really. It's just about bringing some new shit to the table that the people is gonna appreciate and get some of the new fans and some of the new generation, because you gotta understand when we was doing it like that was like 3, 4, 5 years, 6 years ago. Now I mean, it's a whole nother generation that done came up that ain't get to feel Black Child, that don't even know Black Child. You know what I mean? They might only know me for one thing and for putting in work, but I get busy on the mic. I make hot songs, you know what I mean? I'm an actor, I do movies, you know what I mean? Like I said, now I'm writing and directing, so it's mad different levels to me as a person, that these younger generations and this art group coming up that don't even get to know me as an artist, you know what I mean? Get upset when I hear that 50 Crush murder and all that. To me, I just be like, people was like, you know how in the Bible they say some people will be born with their eyes closed and they'll be deaf. It doesn't mean physically blind, you know what I mean? That means they just don't see it, because if you got federal agents, right, and you got a rat beef, which one you think is more severe or gonna do the most damage when you facing 25 years of life or you facing a rat beef? The rat beef is minute compared to what's going on with your freedom. You know what I mean? When your freedom is online, 25 years, that's minute. You know what I mean? That rat beef compared to what was going on with the feds. That stopped a lot of business, you know what I mean? When they start sitting down and they start questioning people that do marketing and retail that work, that went to school and went to college and they work at Def Jam, and they sit down and they getting integrated, and people that do our promotions and people that's in charge of videos, it's a whole nother level. Then they instill fear in those people that we work with, and now that makes an uncomfortable work environment. So after that happened, that took us definitely, it changed the whole game in the office up at, you know what I mean? You know already when they ran up in the office and all that. After that, we left the building. A lot of people after that is reluctant to work with us. They reluctant to release budgets for our funds, because they know the feds is watching every minute, every move, and everything we doing with the budget. So if they gotta cut a check to Murder Inc. and the Inc. gotta cut a check to one of the artists, everybody want to start knowing where that money is going, what's going on, who's this check for, what is that, why they need this much, and it just became a big problem on the business side of things. And I think that affected us more, and that's when I seen, you know what I mean, that Murder Inc. we was going through a lot of problems right then, and a whole nother level that I don't think too many labels went through. And still here standing, because Rule's still here, know what I mean? Ty's still doing his thing, I'm doing my thing. Gotti got his TV show, everybody's still eating, so it ain't like niggas can say niggas is dead. I know, know what I mean? As long as I'm breathing, I ain't dead. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. You know what I mean? I'm gonna grind, nigga. I'm gonna get it one way or another, unless my heart stop. And that's real talk. So, know what I mean? I don't give a fuck about what the bloggers and everybody be saying. But, you know, you got to take that into consideration, because that is the public and that is their opinion. And that's how they feeling, which is the consumers. So, therefore, you got to take some of that in, and know what I mean, and use that to bag up your music and your work right and put it out there like, let me get the people what they want. Because I see how they respond to this type of music. I see how they respond to that. Let me get them something that they going to embrace, you know what I mean? And that's really what it's about.